And everyone, I would like to call our regular board meeting to order at 7:30. At 7:33, we're located in the Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Chamalave.
She's going to participate electronic, so should I call her?
Let's go ahead and contact her, and in the meantime, with the trustees present, can we have a motion and a second to approve Trustee Senior separately and Trustees Chamalave separately to participate electronically?
Do you need a separate motion for each one?
Yeah, we should.
Can I make them at the same time?
Sure. We'll do that. We keep up.
Well, and Trustee Andrea Senior is not going to be here because she's working tonight.
Correct.
Trustee Malave is, she's under the weather, and her son is under the weather as well.
So we can make them both together then.
So I can make a motion for
Yep.
both. Madam Mayor, can I make a motion to allow Trustee Senior and Trustee Chamalave to both participate via phone?
I need a second.
A second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Shelby, for Trustee Senior and Trustees Chamalave to participate electronically due to illness and also due to work. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee, did we get anyone on the phone there? I'll wait for roll call and see if we can get them on the phone. Well, first.
Yeah, because then that allows them to participate.
Going by the attorney's suggestion, we're going to continue with roll and then try to get the trustees on the phone. So Trustee Abraham answered present. Trustees Chamalave and Senior are currently absent. Trustee Shelby.
Here.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Are we doing a vote? No, I meant the roll call for the motion. I meant the roll call for the motion.
Got it.
My apologies.
This is the vote for the motion to approve the two trustees to participate electronically. Once again, Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustees Chamalave and Senior are absent. Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour absent. Trustee Miller,
Hold on one second.
Yes.
Trustee Senior. Trustee Malave, do we have you? Okay, hold on one second. Trustee Senior and Trustee Malave, are you both on the line? Okay. Okay, if you all don't mind muting until we call you to, we'll call you to speak, okay? So we in the middle of making a motion to allow you all to participate electronic due to illness and due to work.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, Mr. Clerk.
and continue on with the roll, or, okay, and we're going to continue on with the roll. Trustee Chamalave, your vote?
Can you tell them what they voting for, Mr. Clerk?
Once again, that
do they
vote is
get
to
to
allow
vote for this
Trustee
part?
Senior, no?
No, actually, the mayor should vote, and then the motion would carry, and then you just do a roll call to say that they're here.
So we have a 3-0 vote right now. Mayor Thompson, your vote?
Yes.
All right, and that vote carries 4-0 to allow those two participants to participate electronically. Now we'll do a roll call.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Chamalave.
Here.
Trustee Senior.
Here.
Trustee Shelby.
Here.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Here.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
And Mayor, we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you.
Now, can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we all please pause for a moment of silence? Thank you. Next item is number 2, public comment. I have received no public comments as of now. Bringing us to item 3, communications. I'm going to read a couple of communications first. Broadview Christmas Parade will be held on December 17th at 5 p.m. The route is to be announced soon. Stay tuned for further details. Next, the Broadview Park District is a home decorating contest. Deck your home. First, second, and third place winners will receive a $100 gift certificate and a special gift. If you would like to have your home be a stop on the Broadview Christmas Parade on December 17th, please have your decorations completed by December 16th. The deadline to submit for the contest is December 18th. Next, All Out Entertainment Christmas Joy Giveaway. The Broadview Park District is hosting this on December 11th, 2022 from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. over at the Schroeder Park Fieldhouse, 2600 South 13th Avenue. Games, food, and pictures with Santa will be entertained. And for donations, please call 630-414-1521. Next, the Broadview Park District presents Winter Wonderland in the Park on Saturday, December 17th from 2 to 5 p.m. There's free entry. Pictures with Santa are $5, and other details in this flyer right here. If you'd like a copy, please see the clerk. And that concludes that part of the communications. We also have on our agenda tonight a swearing in.
Chief Kenny?
Swearing in of firefighter paramedic Jonathan Ortega for the Broadview Fire Department. Would you join me up front, please? All right, can you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name.
Jonathan Ortega,
Having been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic, having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of firefighter paramedic
of the office of firefighter paramedic
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois,
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Fire Department
of the Broadview Fire Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Congratulations, welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's like the voices from on high.
Sorry I have no voice.
Mr. Clerk, next on the agenda?
Okay, thank you, Madam President. Next on the agenda is item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the November 21st, 2022 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Miller. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham, do you have any comments?
None.
Trustee Senior, you have any comments for the minutes?
No comment.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No.
Trustee Shelby?
No comments.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
No comments.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Roll call for the minutes. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and those minutes carry 5-0. Thank you all. Next, item 5, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $228,703.87 for the period 11/30/2022.
Motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Miller. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby, Finance Chairwoman, will you please read the warrant list?
Yes, this is the warrant list of November the 30th, 2022. The vendors are 2421 South 25th Avenue LLC, in the amount of $10,000. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $156,804.39. Eco Clean Maintenance Incorporated, $2,504. Law Offices of Philip M. Finaro, $25,000. Tesca Associates Incorporated, $2,546.25. Train USA Incorporated, $10,828.50. The total of expenditures over $2,500 came to $207,683.14, which is 91% of all total expenditures in the amount of $228,703.87. The following funds were affected by these expenditures. The general fund in the amount of $226,273.26. The Roosevelt Road TIF Fund in the amount of $1,820. The Water and Sewage Fund in the amount of $610.61, again for a grand total of $228,703.87. And Madam President, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments on the payables?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No question.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions?
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
No comments.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Roll call. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes?
trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next item, item 6, presentation. We have none tonight. Taking us to item 7, committee reports. These are the committee reports which are given at each first meeting of the month, starting with our Business License Committee. Trustee Armour, who's absent today, does anyone have a report in her stead?
I don't have a report, but I do want to bring to the attention that the business licenses have been mailed out to all businesses for renewal at the end of the month. Your business license is due prior to the first of the month, or late fees will apply.
Thank you, Madam President. Anyone else? Thank you. Next is Police and Fire Commission, or Committee, I should say, and that would be Trustee Miller.
Just a reminder, we haven't set our date for the community discussion regarding the Ike 911 Center, so I will be working with it. I apologize because I've been on birthday vacation, so I haven't been checking any emails if they sent any, but I'll get with them this week or early next week and try to set us a date for early in January. That's it.
Thank you, trustee Miller. Next is the Finance Committee, trustee Shelby.
Yes, we will have a finance committee meeting here at the Village Chambers, January the 18th at 6:30. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, trustee Shelby. Next is the Building and Public Property Committee, trustee Chalmalave.
Trustee Chalmalabi, do you have anything to report on the building and public property?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out, turn off the mute. I do not, I will be prepared for the next one. I'm going to skip right now.
Thank you, trustee Chalmalave. No report. Next is Water, Drainage, and Health, trustee Senior.
Oh, yes, I have nothing to report at this time, thank you.
Thank you, trustee Senior. Next is Streets, Sidewalks, and Alleys, trustee Abraham.
No report.
Thank you, trustee Abraham. That concludes our reports. Next item is item 8, new business. A, an ordinance of the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois, granting a special use to Eyes by Ambience to allow for the operation of a permanent ombre micro shading business on the property located at 2133 22nd Avenue, Broadview, Illinois.
Just for clarity, this is item 9. We skipped item 8, which is old business.
7, 8 is,
I appreciate that. I actually should have taken old business off altogether, but we'll make it as such on the record. Thank you, trustee.
I make a motion to approve item 9A.
I second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw, will you tell us about this zoning change?
Good evening, Mayor, Board, residents. Good evening.
I'm sorry, trustee Chalmalabi got disconnected.
Thank you.
Hold on a second. Okay.
Hello?
We have you both. We have you
I'm
both.
sorry about that. Oh, okay, because I couldn't hear nothing, they put music on.
Okay, Commissioner Upshaw was talking about new business, like item A. So if you have background noise, please mute your phone so that we can hear.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Upshaw, sorry about that.
Eyes by Ambience has requested a special use to establish their business at 2133 South 22nd. Because it is in the hair care or hair products industry, a zoning board meeting was conducted on April 18th, 2022. The zoning board of appeals proposed that the special use be granted in the public interest to meet the standards for granting special uses that are listed in Chapter 10 of the zoning board and overall planning goals of the Village of Broadview. Eyes by Ambience currently is located in North Riverside. Eyes by Ambience is a service base that specializes in permanent makeup, specifically eyebrows. The state of Illinois does not require that Eyes by Ambience have a state license. However, it is governed by Illinois Department of Public Health, where they have to apply for an application, there has to be an inspection, and then a permit will be issued. At this time, I'll open any questions that the board may have.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No question.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalave?
No question.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
So are they a makeup studio or are they a tattoo parlor?
They do permanent makeup and with a specialty in eyebrows.
So they're using tattoo equipment to put on makeup, and we're saying that they're not required to be licensed through the state of Illinois.
Yes. What I did, trustee Miller, if I may, I didn't understand it. So
I don't either.
I had to call to get some information, and I did speak to Peter Genikis, who works for the Cook County Department of Health. And he said, Ms. Bonds does, and this is the email that I received, Ms. Bonds does have a place in North Riverside that I have inspected. She is aware that she must apply with the Illinois Department of Public Health to register her new location if she decides to go to Broadview. Once her application is approved by the Department of Public Health, I will go and inspect her establishment and issue a permit. She is not required by the state of Illinois to have a license or is governed by the Illinois Department of Professional Regulations.
Okay, I'm still lost there because I know tattoo parlors are required since they're technically dealing with needles, which affects blood as well as diseases. So hopefully we clarify what her business is actually doing or performing. And since she's in North Riverside, I'm guessing she has to go through the same inspections or regulations for the state of Illinois. But I'm still concerned there because I don't quite understand it. I motioned it to be approved so we can have the discussion. I know that this is not the business license per se. This is just to adjust the zoning for it. But I'm still totally confused on what they do then.
Okay. I do have her contact information as well as we can meet and I can answer any questions that you may have, and the ones that I can't, we can reach out to Ms. Bonds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
As well as Cook County.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Okay, roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next item B, a resolution authorizing and approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Cook County related to the cost sharing to demolish a certain structure within the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments? Oh, excuse me, hold on. Before we go that, Commissioner Upshaw, can you please tell us about this intergovernment agreement?
The IGA that is before you this evening is between the Cook County Bureau of Asset Management and the Village of Broadview. It's part of the Cook County's MCCP initiative. MCCP is the Municipal Capacity for Capital Projects, which leverages the county's expertise across all areas of infrastructure. The first phase of MCCP is they developed a pilot program, and the pilot program is called IEP, Infrastructure and External Projects Program. They selected two communities that they wanted to test this pilot program on. One was the Village of Broadview, the other one was out south, and I forget the name right now. But the Village of Broadview will partner with Cook County to assist in the completion of various demolition, rehab, or infrastructure projects. The partnership will include the use of Cook County resources and/or contributions of funds. In this particular case, we are talking about 2412 South 9th Avenue, which is the building that the Village of Broadview is going to have demoed. I put together an RFQ, and of all the proposals that I received to demo that building was going to be $100,000. And that would have been $100,000 that would have come out of the Village of Broadview's pockets. Through this program, the Village of Broadview would be committed to paying $25,000, and Cook County would make sure that the building is compliant, that they would pull demo permits, and they would demolish the building. And lastly, I wanted to just comment or just say that Mayor Thompson has positioned the Village of Broadview to let us know what our needs are and to put together a capital projects list. So when things come up, whether it be on a county level, state level, or federal level, that we are quote-unquote shovel ready. So anytime that funds or financial resources are available, I know for a fact that the Village of Broadview is ready, and we're capable, and we're going to apply as instructed for any and everything. So that concludes my comment.
Thank you. Before I ask the trustees for their comments or questions that they may have, this is when we talk about partnerships and collaborations with our other governmental entities on the impact that it have on the community. And it would have cost us, and we've gotten several complaints about that building on 2412 South 9th Avenue. And so we want to do our due diligence because this building is in the poorest condition that we have in the Village of Broadview. I think we have 2 properties that's in very need of demo project, but this one is the most decapitated building that we have, and it sits in between 2 residential homes. And so when we talk about the public health and public safety, it proposes a risk to the community as we have to secure the gate so children do not enter into that site. Also, as it relates to wildlife habitats in that, like raccoons and skunks and all of that, and that's is directly near the resident, and they call in and complain on a regular basis to the building department, or they've called my office. So I'm happy that we have this relationship. We was prepared to get this building done. We've done our due diligence on behalf of the residents, and so therefore I'm going to turn it over to the board to ask the questions and comments and ask for a roll call afterwards. Trustee Abraham?
No questions, but I am familiar with that property, so I'm glad we're going to act on that to address that here in our community so we can proceed with other things to be done. So, but that was very good that we got this taken care of. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
Yes, this is very exciting to hear. I'm very glad about this, very happy about it.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalave?
Yes, I have a question. Do we know what's going to be built there after the demolition?
Not at this time.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby? Thank you, Trustee Chalmalave. Trustee Shelby?
Yes, I have a question related to the cost sharing. Okay, and how much is it gonna be?
The village's
Yes.
commitment,
Yes.
it's in your package, $25,000.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's in the legislation.
Okay. That's all. Do you know when that's gonna take place? Any idea?
Once the village signs off on it, if in fact that happens tonight, the paperwork will be submitted to the county. The county has committed to have it done before year end. I don't know if that's possible, but they are ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
They're just waiting on us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
One of my questions was about the start date. My next one is, does Cook County select a demo provider that's going to actually demo the
Correct.
unit? Okay. Do we have any feedback on who that may be yet, or do we not know?
I don't know at this time.
So the Cook County, Trustee Miller, Cook County have their own staff that would do this. So the county is actually handling the demo.
Oh, they're not hiring an
No.
outside contract?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Miller. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this carries 5-0, Mayor. Thank you all. Next, item C, a resolution authorizing and approving a proposal from Total Parking Solutions, Inc. for certain parking equipment for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Shelby. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Director Ames or Chief Mills.
Real quick. I'm going to ask the gentleman from TPS to come out so he can introduce himself. What I will do, first off, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mayor, Board of Trustees. I'm going to get out of the way and let the company that actually has the proposition before you answer any questions, but the background is obviously Public Works and Police have been working on the parking for the last several years. Chief Mills and myself, we vetted out at least one other company in this arena, and we settled with TPS simply because they are local and pretty much a one-stop shop. So that being said,
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jesse Zawacki, Total Account Specialist with Total Parking Solutions. Just kind of little background on us. We've been in the greater Chicagoland area for over 17 years now, as Director Ames kind of stated. We are a one-stop shop for all parking needs, essentially. I mean, our reference list and clients list kind of speaks for itself. We pride ourselves on customer service, and that's kind of what we built our business model on. We always tell everybody, if you're interested in kind of knowing a little bit about who we are and what we do, feel free to reach out to any of our customers and ask a little bit about us, and they'd be happy to give you whatever type of report you're looking for. Currently, the proposal you guys have before you is for the newest parking terminals we have. They're called the Flowbird CWT or Cali Web Terminal S4 Plus. It is essentially an iPad built into a parking terminal. So they're very user-friendly, easy to interact with, and other than that, it's just kind of the basis of what we do. I'm going to open the floor to any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No, but I like other clients you have, very impressed with that list of other communities and villages utilizing your services, so that makes me feel very comfortable having you here in the village.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
I guess it's all me tonight with questions, huh? Funny. It's like, dang. This might be more for Director Ames, but can you give us some more background on where these will actually be located? How they are going to impact village revenue? I'm gonna ask all mine at one time.
Okay, the background information. So we have remapped pretty much all of the parking up and down Roosevelt Road and also in other areas. This is the first phase rollout. The police chief and myself thought that it'd be prudent to, if nothing else, roll this out in phases. So the first phase is all of the municipal lots that we have. So 14th Avenue, 15th Avenue, 18th Avenue, and the lot directly behind the Blue Note would all be metered, would all have these kiosks, okay? And hopefully moving toward the spring and the summer, the parking will expand to the diagonals up and down Roosevelt Road and some areas of 17th Avenue. So the kiosks are physical machines, obviously, that will be located, but also TPS provides a platform. So if you look in your packet, folks will be able to scan a code or, to your point, just type in their license plate number and be registered and legit for the most part. And I think there was another part to that question, Trustee.
So I know that we're talking about, I know this has to have a fee for guests to park in. The financial impact of those fees, have we figured out how much that's going to be? And then the next piece to that is, do we have anyone that's actually, we haven't discussed or fully hired a new officer or community service officer yet to actually go out and make sure that the plates are registered or whatever, however they're registering. So what phase are we in if we're trying to roll this out?
Well, right
ASAP.
now, well, I'm sorry, the enforcement piece is, the chief can speak to that, but
Good.
to your point, we don't have that officer yet, but I believe that's gonna be handled in-house.
Okay.
Yes, as Director Ames stated, since we're rolling these out in phases, we thought, so we can get a better grasp on how the parking will be set up. the messaging to the village, to our residents, to our visitors who come in and out. The police department can handle this first phase of enforcement. Then after we have more data and can track what's coming in versus the man, at what time, like we have a new business, the View opening up in that particular lot, what days, then we'll move forward to looking at hiring that community service officer, or even possibly with us looking at hiring a code enforcement officer that can maybe do double duties on those days as well, so. But at this first phase, the police department will take the enforcement piece of that.
Okay, so then back to the other question. The pre-programming for the fee, how much is that going to be for residents or visitors or whomever to park there?
Well, right now, we haven't determined it yet. I know that TPS did a performer for us, and the performer was at 50 cents an hour and 75 cents. And that was with, I think, a restricted number of parking stalls. We had not talked about it, comprehensively. And again, do you have those numbers?
Those ones I do not have in front of me. Just to give you, I mean, at least for, further retrospective, those numbers were done, I know we had previously been in communication with the Village of Broadview a couple years ago, so those numbers might be slightly dated. Currently, just for example, with the Village of Oak Park, they typically run at $1 an hour for the first 3 hours, and then I believe it's $3 an hour after that, just to give you an idea. What you guys are looking for rates is really up to the village itself. Each rate kind of charges its own different rate, and we can program the machines as needed. So that just gives you kind of a reference point, but realistically, it's completely up to you guys.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't directing it toward you. I kind of was directing it back to us since that was
But we
us.
had made that determination,
Okay.
and to the chief's point, what we're trying to do now is get data. So that's the reason for the soft rollout, of the first phase rollout, so to speak, so that we can make a determination, to your point, about the peak times for enforcement, for parking and all of those things. But the good news is that at the very least, we have a performer at 50 cents an hour that pretty much pays for the machines. But the upfront financing, these costs are TIF eligible, unless I've been mistaken all these years. But that being said, we just had a TIF meeting, and the importance of it is that we can literally save our general fund and roll out things like this. We've got EV charging stations that we've got the infrastructures put in at those parking lots that's ready to come online. So hence can be purchased with TIF funds if for whatever reason we can't find alternative funds. But Jesse's right. The programming in terms of the fee structure is up to us. And I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what the 4 parking lots produce.
But we need to know what we're charging. Like, that's my question.
So
Do we know
Trustee
that
Miller,
yet?
so this is a rollout, so it's no charge because we have to collect the data. And so if we're looking at the performance is 50 cents, maybe the cost is gonna be 50 cents, but as we collect data on the usage of the lots, we'll know how many cars are coming in at different times. So that'll be something that we would have to discuss as a board what the charge would be, so that would be in another phase. Right now, it's just getting the meters in place so that we can start collecting the data so that we can budget for a CSO.
I think we're all missing my point of my question. If we're rolling them out, they have to be rolled out, programmed with an amount that we're charging. Do we know that amount yet, or do we not know it? That's my only.
We do not.
Okay.
Right now, that's.
Not how much it's gonna generate revenue
Right, absolutely.
later.
No,
I'm just-
no,
the
right now.
First time I parked
Right
there.
now, we do not. Right now, we have a performer for 50 and 75 cents. Either one works at this moment.
Where's that
As you look,
performer?
as you see the convenience fee, they're charging 37 cents per transaction. So, to the point, if in fact you wanted to compare apples to apples, the one thing that we did think about was actually going over to our neighbors. To your point, Oak Park, Forest Park, seeing exactly what their rate structure was. And because we are relatively newer, to the programs, obviously, we wouldn't have that rate structure. But when you say, do we have a rate structure? We do not. That's something that we're discussing. Right now, what we want to do is put the infrastructure into place. The rate structure, we can apply anytime we want to. Anytime the Board of Corporate Authority approves it, we can get it over to TPS. They can program it in. And again, that's a dynamic piece that goes up and down.
We'll talk about it later. Thank you.
That's it, Trustee Miller?
Apparently.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent, Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next is item D.
Before we move on, Mr. Clerk, can we get the performer email so that we can email it to the trustees so that they can see the performer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I believe Chief Mills has a copy in his office.
So, Chief, can you get that to the clerk so he can send that out to the board? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. Next is item D, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Adam Zadell, hopefully I said his name correctly, doing business as Zadell Office Furniture Installation at 2000 South 25th Avenue, Suite 113, to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve?
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Miller. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw, will you tell us about this new business?
Zadell Office Furniture Installation will be located at 2000 South 25th Avenue, room or Suite 113. They will be warehousing and selling and delivering used office furniture. All inspections have been completed and approved. I'll entertain any questions at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw. When I went through the packet, I do want to say Trustee Armour had brought up the change of one of the forms, the police department form. That change has been updated, changing the name from the former chief to the current chief. Trustee Abraham, do you have any questions or comments?
No, none.
Trustee Senior?
No questions or comments, that's it.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
This is office furniture installation. Will they be selling furniture, office furniture, or?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
Are they moving in and relocating, or are they just operating a second location or a third?
As far as I know, they'll be moving in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent, Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next item, E. Consideration of an application for a business license requested by Safety Controls Technology, Inc. at 2100 Roosevelt Road to operate in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw, will you tell us about this business?
Yes, Safety Controls Technology, doing business as SCT Medical Clinic, will be located at 2100 Roosevelt Road. They will be providing a various number of occupational services, from drug testing, alcohol testing, pre-employment exams, respiratory testing, audiograms, OSHA and medical surveillance and laboratory services. All inspections have been completed and approved.
Thank you. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
So they're basically doing just testing, because I think, wasn't it Trustee Armour that questioned about if there was going to be any medical stuff going on? It's just testing.
Yes, SCT, there's another company that may be joining them.
Okay.
And they're in the negotiation stages of that.
And they will be doing what?
They would
medical?
be some type of medical blood stuff. I'm not really sure because it's not before us right now.
Right, okay. I'm all good.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No question.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
Yes, my understanding that one would be doing the testing, and the other one would, the other company that's coming in is gonna do the evaluation or something of the test? Is that?
That may be the case, but that has not been determined yet.
Okay.
The only thing that we are sure of right now is that SCT is here. Visagene is the company you're talking about specifically. They're still having conversation, negotiating terms, and their inspections have not been completed thus far.
Okay.
And they would have to apply for a business license and come before the board as well.
Absolutely, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent, Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is item, looks like it would be 10. Application for the authority to expend funds totaling $69,901 for Midwest Mechanical for the fire department.
Chief Kenny, you want to tell us about this
Motion
purchase
to
order?
approve.
Oh,
Motion by Trustee Miller. Can I have a second?
Second.
It's been motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
now, thank you. Chief Kenny, will you tell us about this purchase order?
So I'm going to pass this on to Deputy Chief Martin. He did all the research on this.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees.
Good evening.
So this is an expenditure for a replacement of heat on our apparatus floor that houses all of our fire equipment, our engines, our ambulances, our utility vehicles, everything outside of the living area. Currently, what we have right now is 5 large units that were supplying the heat. They were run off of the boiler system. They're very old. They've been in place for a very long time, and they've started to malfunction on a frequency that would cause us to spend more money on maintenance than it would be to replace them. And the cost of replacement is quite high, given the age and nature of the units. So what we did is we put together a proposal for a replacement, which would be standalone heaters on the apparatus floor that would provide heat as the apparatus doors go up and down in the winter. They have about a 10-minute refresh that are relatively inexpensive in comparison to what it would cost us to replace the 5 existing units. These units were put in when the building was built. They're very large, and they run off of the boilers. This new system would alleviate a lot of the stress that the boilers are under now. So in doing this standalone system, that takes pressure off of the boilers that we're currently using, which therefore reduces maintenance and cost of those 3 boilers in the living quarters area. And we can even potentially reduce down to using 1 or 2 boilers, and this system would run on its own. Any questions at this time from what I just explained?
Thank you. Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Chalmalave?
No question.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
I see that they need 50% to start the project, but then it kind of breaks down to 40% doing substantial completion. What does the substantial mean? And then is there a way that we can kind of clarify that for?
Sure, so 50% would be to get the project started on approval of the proposal and then prior to commencement of work. So what we had to do is we had to bring 3 separate entities into this that were joined into one due to the fact that we have to run a new gas line. There needs to be roof work for ventilation for the units. And the Midwest Mechanical Company themselves, which would be installing the heaters for the 3 larger heaters and the 1 smaller one. So the 50% would be paid, would start the project, and then the 40% would be invoiced. Is your question about what substantial completion means?
Yes.
I don't have an answer for you at this time, but I could find out what that means. It's a good question. I would assume that if I were to look at the percentage, I would say that to me that means 90% done would be qualifying to get, but I prefer it to all be done. And then we'll just pay the final 50%.
Me too.
After inspection and approval, okay. After inspection and approval.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have a projection on when we're trying to start this project? And
This-
how will it, so let me roll these
Go ahead,
both out.
sorry.
And then how will this affect the equipment being able to get in and out while they're doing the project?
So we would like to start the project as soon as possible with the weather changing now. Currently, we did get two of the heaters working on the boiler system, but they were also malfunctioning right when the weather turned. So the urgency of this project is high. So we would like to start this as soon as possible. As far as any restrictions, we looked into the renovation of this. These heaters are going to be placed strategically in the middle of the apparatus floor from the front doors. It's directly in midline from where the front doors are and the rear doors are, so they're going to run between where all the apparatus are. And all of the work that's going to be done, the gas line's going to be run from the exterior in along the wall where the living quarters are, so it's really not going to impede on any of our responses.
Okay.
The only thing that hopefully the heaters work throughout the duration of the project and its completion, and we don't have any time where we might be out of heat, but fingers crossed. So.
Okay. And I know we've been applying grant money towards other, so is there any ARPA funds available for this, or we all capped out? So this is.
We can't use ARPA funds for this.
No, not at all. Okay. That's it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
So, DC, I would like you to explain, just so that the residents can understand what the apparatus floors are, because we don't know what that is. So what is the apparatus floors? And then also speak to the money that we've already put into this old system.
Sure. To answer your first question, so the first part of that about the apparatus floor. So in the structure of our firehouse, we have approximately 50 to 60% of the square footage covers an open bay floor that's basically a large indoor garage. It houses 2 fire engines, 2 frontline ambulances, and then our reserve ambulance in the rear, along with a utility pickup, and then the chief's vehicle and my vehicle. And those vehicles in the winter stay inside. That apparatus floor is where we house all of our equipment, so it stays out of the elements. It's really important that it be heated, mainly because our engine has water on it that could freeze. But also it is part of our living space too. We do train out there. It's a large open area where we're able to check our vehicles daily, where we can conduct maintenance on our vehicles and so forth. So it's a large extension of our firehouse where all of our fleet is housed to stay out of weather. Yes, and we did research as well, just to touch on the heat. We do have a sprinkler system as part of our apparatus floor structure in the ceiling, and these heaters will put out enough BTUs, which is enough heat capacity, to make sure that those sprinkler pipes stay at the temperature that thermostat will be set at. So we did research that as well, just to make sure, because it's a different system from what we currently have. So we wanted to make sure, and Midwest Mechanical did do an analysis with their engineers, and their engineers did say that they were confident that these will put out enough heat with enough recapture time once the doors go up and down. Let's say when it's 20 below zero on any given winter day, it'll take about 10 minutes to regenerate from what the temperature drops down to back to what the thermostat is set at, which is usually around 70 to 75 degrees on the apparatus floor. So really this is to protect the vehicles that we use for the community, and to keep them in good shape. It allows us to wash them. The water doesn't freeze on the rigs in the winter, and it allows us to maintain them and take good care of them throughout the winter season, especially when the really harsh weather comes.
Yep. And then the cost of what we have expended to repair the old.
Extensive over the years.
So can you give us like a ballpark figure of what that cost may be?
Do you want to touch on this? I'm going to hand this one to Chief Ken, if you don't
Yeah,
mind,
Thank you.
for the history of it.
Okay. First, I just want to remind you all that we did have that issue where we had a pipe burst in the ceiling, 2 years ago, February. So getting this done before the weather comes along is important to us. Secondary to that, so every single one of these units that's on top of the building, like I said, 1966 is when they were put in place. In order to continue to repair them, they would have to fabricate the pieces to replace them. So they've been doing that bits and pieces, but the amount of money we spent last year into this year almost starts to gain on the replacement. So by replacing this, again, it takes away from the fact that I would have to buy another boiler, because we had budgeted for a new boiler this year, and then we're gonna do another one for next year. So this actually takes away from having to worry about that and just deal with the direct heat for that apparatus large garage floor.
So again, my question is, how much have we expended on the old equipment so that the board can understand the cost savings by going with Midwest Mechanical versus what we've expended replacing or repairing the old equipment?
See.
Okay, so
The-
budget-wise,
Yeah, so we right now, we're slotted to have a budget of around 16,000 a year for maintenance of this system.
No,
So-
for the old system or the new
Old
system?
system.
Okay,
Old system.
but $40,000
But
to
also
replace.
the replacement of that one boiler would have been 20,000, plus the annual maintenance
Okay.
approximately of 16,000. So in roughly 3 to 4 years, this part of that project, and not to say that it doesn't extend into the other, but at least takes care of the apparatus floor, this part would essentially, in 3 to 4 years of maintenance, pay for itself.
Okay.
We'd be saving from what we have been spending
over the years.
to work on those old systems. And I did ask Midwest Mechanical what the cost to replace those units would be, and they were $55,000 a piece, and there's 5 of them.
Okay, and that was my question.
Yeah,
So thank you.
the old ones that we have there, if we were to refabricate and have new ones brought in, that would be a very extensive job, and they approximated about $250,000 to $300,000. So this was a much more cost-effective means to do so, which is more common in open garage areas and what have you, so.
And my last question, is it energy efficient?
Yes, all of these are run off of natural gas. They are energy efficient. They're all Train, which is a very good model. And as a matter of fact, they were going to give us higher BTU units, and they went back with the engineers who we thought that was kind of high. But they dropped down the size of the units, so it should. They're very efficient. And I asked about that, and he said that's because the efficiency of the 200,000 BTU units are very, very good. It also saved us money from having to run a larger gas line.
Okay,
So there was some cost savings in there.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent, Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next is item 11, the village clerk's report. I have nothing for this meeting. Bringing us to item, I guess it would be 12, Village President, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you, and happy holidays to everyone. So just real quick, we're getting into the snow season, and we know like some of our seniors cannot pull their garbage cans from the street back to their home once they put the garbage cans out. So I'm asking all of the residents to be mindful of the seniors that's on your block. And if you see that they have not pulled their garbage cans back to the respective spot, please pull the cans to help them out, especially when we get into the snow season, and because we want to make sure that they don't fall and slip, and that we, help out our seniors in the community. So if we can do that, that would be great. I will send out some messaging related to that, so that we know that if you can help out a senior that's on your block, please do so. Even from time to time, even in the summertime, I'll continue to do that for the senior that's 83 years old that live on the corner house. When she's not home, she may leave her can out So on Tuesday, I'll make sure that her can is pulled back to her spot so that she's not cited for not following the village ordinance. So if we can help out our seniors, I would appreciate that. Also, this past weekend, I had an experience that I didn't ask for, but it was a godsend. I worked on a project called Sign the Pledge, and we got nominated for an Emmy. However, we didn't win the nomination at the Emmys this weekend. We are in the process of a movie and a documentary being made, and that's going to be produced by Kevin Hart. So I'm excited about the project. It highlights the work that we do for those that's behind bars to give them a second chance. When I got the call, I said yes to go talk to the inmates in the men and women Cook County Jail. This project is a project of Victor Woods. So I'm really excited for all of the ones that played that, the producer that produced the documentary. It was just an exciting time, but it was an experience that I can never take back. So I was pretty excited to be there amongst all of the winners and then all of the nominees. Tonight is the last night for us to vote for Deborah Vines. So if you have not cast your vote, please vote for Deborah Vines. She's the CEO of The Answer, Inc. Her agency specializes those that's impacted with autism or other developmental disabilities. She does a lot of work within the village of Broadview. She advocates in programs over at Lindop School. She's in our public library. Her programs are housed at the Broadview Park District, and we have several families that's impacted with autism or other developmental disabilities that she provides a service to her. So my ask of you is to vote for her, and hopefully she can be the CNN hero, and she will be the first in the state of Illinois, the first in Cook County, and the first in the Proviso Township if selected. What's so significant about this platform is not just a local or national, this is an international platform to bring awareness to those that's impacted with autism and developmental disabilities. So we're excited for her. We wish her some good well wishes, and we just say congratulations on your nomination as we move forward. We do have some holiday activities that's going to be taking place. The clerk did read them. We're going to make sure that we get the information out. And we just want you to be safe, love and be loving and kindness to your neighbors and to the Board of Trustees and myself during this holiday season. Sometimes, we get attacked for whatever reasons or purposes, but they work really hard on behalf of the Village of Broadview to deliver, to make sure that we are following the guidelines. We're very transparent. Anything that the community asks for, we can provide that through a FOIA request, which is handled through the clerk's office. So I'll be the first to say happy holidays. Our next board meeting, we'll have some more updates to give you. And at this time, that's all I have for my report. So thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. And lastly, we do have a closed session this evening. Item A, Section 2C11, litigation against or on behalf of the village or where the village finds that an action is probable or imminent. Item B, possible action on items coming out of this closed session. So at this time, I will entertain a motion.
Before you entertain a motion, I want to add, while we're in closed session, to discuss a personnel matter.
Sounds good. Thank you. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to suspend the regular board meeting and go into closed session.
Make a motion to go into closed session and suspend our regular board meeting at this time.
I second.
Okay, thank you. It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Shelby to suspend the regular board meeting and move to closed session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we need to do a roll call vote, Ms.
We can do a roll call. Yes, ma'am.
You can do either. Oh, well, with them on the phone, it might be better to do
Okay.
roll call.
Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes?
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And it carries 5-0 to suspend the regular meeting and go into closed session. We are hereby in closed session at 8:37 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, we waiting on the clerk.
Okay. We are now back from closed session, and I will entertain at this time a motion to reconvene the regular board meeting.
Motion to reconvene.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Abraham to reconvene the regular board meeting at 9:41 PM. Madam President, possible action on items coming out of closed session would be an.
Can you mute your phone, trustee senior?
Okay, possible action would be A, an ordinance authorizing and approving a settlement agreement with SKM LLC Legacy for the disposal of fire department equipment, I should say personal property, for the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois.
I make a motion to table.
Can we get
I second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby to table this
To the next
until the
scheduled
next
board
meeting,
meeting. Yes.
which is December 19th, I believe. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave is currently absent. Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this item is hereby tabled until the next meeting, December 19th. Thank you all. Next, item B, a resolution authorizing and approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of St. Charles for the purchase of a certain vehicle for the fire department of the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby to approve. Madam President?
Trustee Abraham, you have any questions?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Shelby?
No question.
Trustee Miller?
I just want to clarify that we're only approving the amount up to 20,000, right? Do we need to state that for the record?
Yes.
Do I need to amend my
You
motion?
don't need to state that for the record. It's what's in the agreement. The agreement specifies 20,000.
Okay, well, so that the public knows.
Yes.
Because they
Oh,
didn't
sure.
get the agreement.
Absolutely.
That is $20,000. Yes.
Okay, can we get a roll call, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave is absent. Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this carries to approve, 4-0. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 9:44 PM. Thank you all.